They'll definitely have to do things.
You ready to go, Donna, or are you waiting for something? Yeah. Okay.
It's a rush, right? Actually, that's not fine.
I found a cookie squished on the carpet afterwards. I lost my mind. I'm like, I'm like, someone is going to the night. If I was zero. It has to be water. I cooked baked cookies yesterday and I learned. I used to love them 5 minutes after the cookies. I'm like, it's like today's my best day ever. And the last bit, like, I know. I'm like, you're not reading in the living room anymore. And one day Matthew takes his spaghetti upstairs and he's like, just drop the spaghetti on the carpet. Now what do I do? I'm gonna kill somebody soon, I'm sure of it.
All right, 7:02, I'd like to call the committee of the whole for September 13th to order. The agenda additions, everything on the board there. Are there any additions or deletions that anybody has moving forward? There's none. Can I get a motion to accept the agenda as is?
I'll make motion to accept the agenda as is.
Done. And the first order of business 3.1. I would like to observe 1 minute silence, passing of Queen Elizabeth II. So it's 7:03:05 right now. Thank you very much for that. As a municipality here, we've been flying the flag at half-mast and for 10 days as requested and suggested from the federal government. We've also done our picture here. We've got a little fascia on there to the first next order of business 3.2 bylaw 2005 fees and service draft. We brought this back from the last meeting. And so, Donna, do you want to make some comments on that for us, please?
For sure. It's the last meeting we had a good discussion from the council and administration with respect to lifetime dog licenses or yearly dog licenses. And so we did a lot of benchmarking and a lot of looking into things, and have everything there. We've done some cost analysis about yearly workload with 100 dogs and what we have to do. And the municipalities we called that are on yearly, that are on lifetime, yearly because of updating that yearly list. And the amount of time it takes and the amount of issues it takes. Also, there's a whole lot of dog license switching going on the lifetime. So dog dies and it just keeps going. You can catch it faster on a yearly basis. They're also, they're registered current if a puppy under the age of spay or neuter is required by a resident, they're registering the puppy for a higher price than they would get if they hide the puppy and then register it after they've been spayed. So there's lots of ways that you can create loopholes with a for lifetime license. We benchmark local areas to gauge prices as well as determine what the ratio of yearly lifetime licenses are. We've surveyed 30 locations. We do have the list here in council. If you'd like to know which locations, and that there are only 7 out of the 30. When we say locations, we mean municipalities that maintain lifetime licenses. 21 locations maintain yearly licenses. 2 locations have variable licenses depending on the stage or status and cost. Done a survey of every municipality in Alberta, nor is it an official government survey, but we get the benchmark. We also would like to reiterate that the current all lifetime licenses will be grandfathered, and anyone holding a lifetime license after the passing the third reading of this bylaw will not be required to get a yearly license. That's the process. Or we have a third suggestion is we remove all the dog licenses entirely within bylaw 2018-11, and the next council meeting will be bringing the new animal control bylaw, so that anything that's in the fees and services, we might have 3 or 4 bylaws for you next council meeting to match the fees and charges bylaw. You can see that we pulled out fees and we repealed them. But we've given you some language here about what we would take out of the animal control bylaw to match the fees and charges bylaw. And at current notice, the estimated cost into the licenses is around $900 per year, and the lifetime license is for $600. So, nice. Once councils make clear their stance on the subject and their desire to either maintain lifetime, switch to yearly, or abolish, then we're prepared to begin the substantive work on the new dog control bylaw for the council. The next concern was from Councillor Shelley about market licenses and finding the best fit for Thorsby. And we've added the following to the business license section of the draft bylaw. Which proposes a market license that's flexible in time and price to allow for seasonal activities. Option would be limited to market events, not pop-up markets, which would require a peddler's license. Through a market license, we allow one blanket license to cover every vendor in the market, so long as they are listed. Each vendor name is given a vendor license card that has to be filled in the station. Vendor card to be filled up by and signed by the administration. And we're open to having the price suggestions. Your handout here is our contracted planner gave the planning and development fees that we need to have in here, and we also have to bring some amendments to the land use bylaw, which is coming as well because some of it's not in tune with the current legislation. You can tell we have the development permits in the first section, and these are pretty much benchmarks with the area. We did benchmark about city prices. Then the second is subdivision planning and development fees. And like subdivisions are a little more expensive. And on the second page is your miscellaneous fees. So, but the first one is a land use bylaw amendment. If someone wants to have a major amendment done by the land use bylaw, this is standard operating. They want this minor text change. Council passes it. There is a fee to perhaps suit them or suit that section of the bylaw. If they want major, including mapping, change the bylaw to $1,500 fee. You don't get those too often, but sometimes developers want that, speculators, spec home developers, etc.
That's a non-refundable.
Sorry, sir?
Non-refundable.
Non-refundable. Yeah, they've asked us. And area structure plans, a lot of, and we don't have many big subdivisions here, of course, but if we do, they have to have area structure plans. And if they want some amendments to the original, if they want to amend it after you pass it in the council, there's for that. And then plan amendments, development appeal board, encroachment agreements, development buildings without permits. Compliance certificates are very reasonable, and standard, a lot of them on the second page. As we grow, you'll start to see them come into play. Most of everything will be basically on the development permit side on the first page. And so those are our thoughts for fees and changes. And again, the planning and development fees are not in the land use bylaw because they're not. So our amendments to the land use bylaw are based on what the new rules are for the MGA and what the province wants. When you have the examples, they're kind of numerous, and that means public hearings, that means all that sort of thing. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at with this fees and charges bylaw in its draft section. We also put in the bylaw. Yep, license control dogs for the town. We just put that in there for your edification, so you can see when we make a change, you can see where it applies within the bylaw. I think there's going to be probably some other changes with that one. So that's where we're at, Mr. Mayor, and we certainly appreciate lots of feedback and lots of suggestions.
Is there a reason why there's no mention of GST on these ones, whether it's exempt or included?
Some don't have GST. Usually with these schedules.
On the final page of the full bylaw
Yeah.
package, it states which ones include GST,
Yeah.
which ones don't. It's off the
Yeah.
little asterisk at the top, and then that, right when that actually.
But these ones aren't,
the ones that
there's
are-
no ask.
Oh, sorry about that. When it comes to development, I don't see any.
No.
Sorry, and we just got this. Let it go, time, so.
Okay, well, the one online didn't have it.
Yeah, just got it right.
Curious about that. Making sure that gets clarified.
Oh, that's good. And once they go into the new bylaw. Thank you.
Any other questions on that? Or?
Another rule type of. That I wrote. See. On page 4, line 4, it says potion, and I think it's supposed to be portion.
That would be your number. Yes, question is it. Yep,
The only thing that jumped out at me.
very much.
And as discussed, we're going to try and go through second reading on the 27th, and if there's anybody that has comments or anything that from off the office, stop in, talk to them or email them. Or,
And the mayor is contract, municipality, council one, any changes or any thoughts, what we would send it into us, and we put them right in the text.
So it's the big question is the dog bylaw, and there was a huge problematic issue having the yearly, and we couldn't get into compliance then, and it was very well received moving to the annual.
Yep.
When we couldn't get compliance having the yearly to begin with, and bylaws complained at that time, and administration complained at that time, we were spending countless amounts of hours chasing people for the yearly, spending even more time on that process. My suggestion then was then get rid of it. This was the middle ground of not getting rid of it. So if we want a license, it has to stay lifetime as far as I'm concerned. If you want to get rid of it, I don't care to do it. That's fine. But going back to a yearly, that was a huge problem before, and it'll be a problem again.
And was that by paperwork or technology of digitally online?
That was people saying, mind your own business, I'm not getting a dog license. Or you couldn't get compliance. People were not interested. We said it's a one-time thing. Please just do this once and it's over and we won't bug you anymore. People actually started to get dog licenses. It was a not insignificant task trying to get compliance before when it was yearly, and I'm sure it'll go back to the exact same problem.
do you have any feedback on that? Any owners or?
I have something to say on that.
Absolutely, you know,
Nobody
this is a good
wanted
meeting to
renew
say it.
their dog licenses or anything because of the person who was handling it and phoning people at 9 o'clock on a Friday night to renew their dog license. That's why people had a huge problem with it in the yearly sunset. I have dogs, I would happily, I don't really care which way or another. Because having dogs licensed, I mean, it's very important. I had a phone call from a vet clinic in Devon because they had a chocolate lab that someone had brought in, and I have a chocolate lab. And they had a Thorsby license. So it's very important. It's important that dogs are licensed so that nuisance dogs and vicious dogs and whatever else are taken care of as well. The dogs that are barking at 2 o'clock in the morning, for anybody who lives in town, has heard those dogs barking. It's important, like dog licenses are important, but that's the biggest reason I can tell you why people didn't want to do it. It's because the person who was enforcing it no longer works for
Barry,
the
are you finding,
municipality.
thank you for that. Barry, are you finding that like when you get a dog complaint that it's licensed or anything? Tough question, I know, but
Yeah, you get both sides. So, you get the ones that are more than happy to get a dog license. You get the ones that avoid getting the dog license, and you only come across them by mistake. Either way, happy to try to work through both scenarios. Positive messaging, reminding residents of park, so control, somewhat of a understanding of where the dogs are and what they're doing. But it is a challenge, no doubt about it. Either way, it's a challenge, right? So whatever we do, I do agree, people don't want to see me. And I can understand that, but we try to make as less things as possible. But it's still hard to get people to work with us. So we do what we
Dog licenses, if there's dogs used for barking, if they are,
I follow up. Yeah.
if not, are they not having a registered dog, whether it's like camera currently or not?
So we've had some of those this summer. And, so I follow up with this question. You don't have a dog license, I seen it on my paper. We usually give them a very short window. Yeah, 2 or 3, depending on, try to work. So usually if they're busted, they know they're busted.
I agree, whatever we decide, I mean, we can't spend rules and time. We've got to make a decision, stick with it, and do it. One way or another. I don't know, I think we're going to think about it, and then I guess on the 27th, we'll make a decision one way or another.
The lifetime is a benefit, but it has its challenges, right?
Yeah.
Like, no matter which way you go,
It's gonna involve some sort of work
it's
and.
some kind of a
Yeah.
challenge.
Like I think we had one, I don't know, CFO Cindy, if you want to share the one that we had the last week. The lady that phoned in and got a lifetime for a dog and a week later the dog.
Oh, yeah, that poor lady. Yeah, so she got a dog. And so now they're gonna get another dog.
And she used to have like.
We're gonna let
Yeah,
her.
we're gonna let her.
Because I'm like,
I'm gonna go there for that.
put the puppy in it.
Fairly exceptional circumstance.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
That's
like,
not a
you know,
reoccurring.
I'm telling you, something, it's hard. So,
Let's face it, I mean, I know my dogs are treated a lot nicer than I am. All right, I think that's it. Any other questions in there? That information. 3.3, Platinum Jubilee Medal Program. So, MOA Mark Smith has sent us a letter requesting that we submit some names. There's a protocol here for the nominations, and he has 20 of these medals that for individuals for the whole constituency here, and he would like to know if we want to bring anything forward. And I was talking to us the other day about it earlier, and I know that you ladies did the other one there, and I don't, maybe you want to do a committee thing, you don't need a vote or anything, but if you wanna,
We did actually discuss it today, like, we do have one person in mind.
yeah. if
But I
you guys
mean, we
wanna-
could discuss and see
You
if
want to do it again and bring it forward? we-
Because I mean, I do have backup for some of this already, right?
Yeah.
And if anybody else has input, and
Yeah.
if
Yeah, we'll just,
somebody else
we'll
will
point them
feel
your
is
way.
Yeah,
keeping it, then absolutely.
yeah, like it just read what it states in regards to what the thought process is. for the individuals, and if you guys have any names in mind, just forward them to us, and then.
That'd be great, and then, maybe we appreciate if we consider a location of that particular request that, needs are gonna
And I'll mention them so they can.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
The mayor, Councilor Muffin, and Councilor Rash wants to get the names and everything together if they want it on that.
yeah, because they don't have a, like last time they had provided me with a form that I was able to fill out, but they don't
Okay, we can take it.
make it look good. Yeah.
Happy to do that for you.
So prior to the end of September, like, this is be submitted by some.
Oh, so we have like
Yeah,
next
there's
week.
a pretty short
So
window.
Sean, if Shauna puts something, if people get back to us, I guess just say deadline. I would say something.
So you have to have it in by the 30th, if that's like.
Definitions are to be submitted by.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I would say if they had them due by the 23rd, is that, or do you?
Well, I mean, I have to harass
Other
people. If
21st.
it's not people that I already have, I have to go through the whole process of contacting them,
On the 21st?
getting sure. Like, what's today? 13?
13.
I was
The
thinking
paper won't come
20th.
out till Thursday.
Yeah, I was thinking like Monday, the 20th or something.
Interestingly enough, Emily Smith sent this September 1st, so before the passing. To do this, timing and,
Want me to word it that contact you guys if they need help or if they want to nominate somebody?
It's us that have to nominate them.
You have to be the one to nominate. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. If they have a name they want, yeah, or the nominee.
And a contact, I guess. Because then we have to contact them and get their information.
I don't think we. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say if you get one that's confirmed, then just ship it to us. Build the document.
Well, there can only be two to three nominees. So.
Very creative.
We're looking for 2 more.
I don't believe we need a motion or anything for that, but we can't do it anyhow, so we'll. All right, thank you. Council reports, 3.4. Pretty quiet month, for myself here. I just attended the meetings that we had, and the only other thing I did was really, attended the, Boardwalk Mechanical time. It was, well attended out there, and, I know they were very appreciative of what the town did for them and closing the street. And, I think it was a pretty good deal. That's really all I have to say. George, please. Any comments, questions? No? Councilor Gilbert.
All right, so yeah, I did send something in, but it was later on the day Friday, so fair enough. But it's pretty short and sweet, like the rest of everyone else's. August is always slow as far as meetings. There's a few little notes about the Duke Foundation. They got a new asset manager in place starting on the 6th, I believe it was, of September, and they had an open house in Cloverleaf last Wednesday, and then this last weekend on the 13th, they had a open house wine and cheese at Plainview.
Pleasant View.
Pleasant View, sorry.
It's tomorrow.
So, 13th.
Tomorrow.
Uh,
Tracy and I are going.
Okay. I'm not sure it's 13th, but
Plainview Manor.
yeah. But yeah, like I say, other than that, no actual formal meetings or anything. Gonna be the summer schedule.
Yeah, actually, well, that's very true. I mean, a lot of the other municipalities, they shut down. So, including the town.
Yeah, even if we're still doing stuff no one else is.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions? Councilor Miller.
Like everyone else's, regular council meeting and
You?
Same, as well as I was honored to have been awarded the Queen's Jubilee Pins and Roca. And I volunteer monthly for the Seniors Club working as the paymaster. I work on behalf of Communities in Bloom during the Thorsby Lone Wolf Show and Shine. And yeah, I had no other meeting obligations with the library or the chamber in August.
Questions, anybody? No? Councilor Rash.
So I as well, oh, and did the meetings, I did the last meeting of the month via Zoom. And then, public relation type items was I volunteer for the seniors bingo as the paymaster once a month. And then, I also prepped and set up and prepared for the Jubilee Award ceremony on August 9th. And then I just wanted to add, because I went to the PTA meeting last night at the high school. And so I just thought there was some great follow-up to bring to us, because I think moving forward, I'm going to try to hit those meetings quite often, just because I think it's important for us to have a relationship with the school and the kids and the parents and the council. And so I brought Michaela with me and introduced her as our FCS coordinator and as our recreation programmer, because I think it's great if the kids and the parents know what we have to offer, and that Michaela's there for them and to provide services for them and stuff. So we did that kind of, and then Michelle Martin was there for our Black Gold School update, and she had said that the focus of Black Gold this season is going to be mental health, because it's a big thing, as we all know. And so they're focusing not only on mental health wellness of our children and such, they're also working on wraparound services, because we don't really have anything from Drayton to Leduc. We're kind of a black spot. So they want to look at maybe being able to work with our public health unit and try to get us some more services, so that people that don't have vehicles are able to get the services they need and stuff. So I thought that was fantastic, and that's important for us to know that, right? I also mentioned that the FCS board is looking for people and a student, and now Leslie might help me with that. And then I did mention also that the library board is also looking, and then I found out the PTA is well. So there's a lot of stuff needed in our community for volunteers and stuff I learned, which was kind of scary. One big thing that I thought was really cool was the high school is bringing in 3 Colombian kids on an exchange, and they're looking for host families. So I thought that was really, really neat. So they're bringing in a grade 9er and 2 grade 10ers to come and be in Thorsby for a month. So they'll be here from November 19th to the 17th. So I thought that was really cool. And they are looking for families. So I have the information here if anyone was interested. I'm sure Sean is going to get some of this information.
I was on the email, so I have no.
Oh, good, excellent. So yeah, because I thought, you know, if I say it, then Shauna will hear it too. So I'm not sure what goes on that front. Yeah, so that was, I think, the biggest things I wanted to bring back to us. There is an interesting new program they're bringing into the high school as well, which is cool for us to maybe know about, is they're bringing a trade program into our high school, starting with the grade 10 students, where they'll be able to go on site, and then they'll be bringing in tradespeople to work with the kids moving forward. So I thought that was like electricians, plumbers, like our kids missed out, but it is lucky grade 10ers. So yeah, so there was that. I think that's all I've got.
Hey Shelley, is there like a list somewhere for all the sports?
I can make you a list. Because I know, like,
It would,
because I know, like, just off the top of my head, I know PTA is after, currently they have no secretary. So they have no secretary right now. And their, what's it called? Fundraiser coordinator quit. So they don't have a fundraiser coordinator right now. So that is what they need, like, right now. They also would love if people came and showed some interest, but I guess, like, last night they were so excited, there was 12 of us there. So that was, I was like, really? Like, that seems weird to me, but, and then they said, of course, Kim Chung, her daughter's in grade 12 this year. Barbie's son is in grade 12 this year. And I think there's one other person too. So they'll be needing a president and a treasurer for sure upcoming, and they would like to maybe do a transition if possible. So that was PTA. Library board, I think we're down 3 members. So we need 3 board members. And I mean, the commitment for library, like the 1 meeting a month, and the PTA is the same, like PTA said, tell them we're really lazy and we don't do a lot. So I mean, it just involves like your 1 meeting a month, and then if they do any things, would help with that or something like that kind of thing. Library board's kind of the same, like our 1 meeting a month, and then they do have some activities and stuff and want input. And then the other board is, the FCS board. So FCSS, of course, is going to be, the big one is Christmas House, and then there's going to be community awareness night, and there's going to be those events that pop up that they're going to, you know, it's nice to have some extra hands to help with that kind of stuff. So community awareness, I mean, FCSS, of course, is we need the 1 high school student, we need a senior, we need a Duke County resident, and we need 2 other members of the community. And currently, all positions are open. Yeah.
There was that one lady.
Yeah, so I did have one lady on Facebook say she was new and she was interested. I think she was county. And I was talking to another county senior. So I don't know. I've been feeling people out, but I'm not interested. But hopefully, I mean, and yeah.
They're not difficult positions.
You can
No.
put us down for.
You just put 3.
Thank you. Thank
You'll be the
you.
student rep.
He's not gonna
Mr. Mayor, Councilor Rash, if you are amenable to this, we can put a volunteer page right on the website.
Yep, I think you would get a lot more people, there are people that don't,
Or don't do social media and stuff. Like, that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I thought Shauna might say something.
And I can do a volunteer piece in the paper, even sure if there's always a need for it. I love that. Yeah, totally, yeah.
Because that's what I thought. If I bring it up here, then Shauna's gonna be in on it. And I did like post every time I know something, like I'm worried about more so the stuff I'm involved in, but I mean, PTA, I just decided that I think it's a great, I don't know if I know prior council thought it was important to maintain a relationship with the school and such, but I don't know if the prior council had done any sort of thing on that front. So I just think it's important that we're a community and that we know what they're up to and they know what we're up to. And when we have things that like this FCSS board, like, I mean, I want to share information with them and I want to get information from them. And I mean, it's just, once again, repairing relationships and creating relationships. And that's one of the reasons I ran for council. And so.
After that, of course, I'm pretty sure.
If that was the word, Jen.
I've got more ideas.
All right, thank you. Any other more questions on anything like that? Not, can I get a motion to accept the council appointment for the information? All in favor? Moving on to the state report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For the month of August, I'll provide you with a synopsis of my activities. The summer student program ended in August, and I'm very pleased to report that every student in public works and recreation did an absolutely incredible job. All students were hardworking and pleasant, and we would invite them back without hesitation. I think you're coming back. Yeah. Right, you were coming back for that. It was a lot of fun working with them over the summer. I'd show up at the shop and hear them and chat with them and spend time with them. They're a good bunch of folks. The town logo sign is not ready. It was at the time of this typing, but it is ready for the sewage lift station. And the sewage lift station is the bottom portion painted blue. We've got the roof green at the top. We've landscaped around it, taking away all that dirt. New signs are at the Public Works building. Take away all of those signs. Thankfully, we've got a new logo coming to the back wall, the main office. So it just looks more professional. We're excited about that. Thank you to the media. I attended the County Master Recreation Master Plan meeting and discussed how recreation in the west end of the province is so, or west end of the county actually, so essential. Because we're the gateway to the lake and our service area and hockey programs are starting to increase. And talked to RC Strategies, they're a very experienced master plan for developer for recreation, but there was myself and Chris from Warburg. Of course, we have two different municipalities, which is good. But I did say to RC Strategies that I would like to see it less of a master plan and more of a community story about recreation and what we do and why we do it. Most recreation master plans are full of graphs, full of this, full of that, and they sit on a shelf. And I challenged them to change up the format, do something different for a change, so that it reflects our community, reflects Warburg community, and the people would get excited about reading about recreation opportunities, health and wellness, and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I've thought of that before, so we'll see what comes of it. So it was a really great 2-hour meeting. We assisted Council Shelley host the Jubilee Awards on August 9th. We'll see MC and the Jubilee recipients in attendance, and we were very happy to help out Council Shelley. We need Raymond Grease to offer to build and look after the skateboard park, and we have an official volunteer welcome letter for that purpose. With that, spent many hours of time assisting the CFO ready the audit, including more grant reconciliations and understanding the tax surplus that we have. Look after that. We donated a gift to the show and shine. It was a bird seed and a bird feeder to Local Mechanical, and I was there in attendance for the afternoon, my husband and I, and we had a lot of fun. It was great. And even attended the Communities in Bloom event for a hot dog. At the time of the writing, we were waiting for the ISL report. We now have it on the status of our lagoons regarding any leakage and our sludge buildup. They initiated the original report way before we got here. So this is their follow-up final. And we do have it now, and we do have a sludge issue, and we do have potential leakage. So on one of our lagoons. So they are going to do further assessment on how much, et cetera. So I don't have a cost estimate, but we do have a cost of what it's the infrared and the measurements so far about how much sludge we have and how bad it's for. No. It's around. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And there's evidence of that in the pictures. I guess this is the center. Want to make sure. Many thanks to the communities and Bloom volunteers for making Hankin Street Boulevard so beautiful after hours of week pulling. I spoke to volunteers and chatted with them, and it looks great and much appreciated. It's backbreaking work. CAO made massive edits to the county's regional emergency bylaw and discussed those changes in the monthly regional meeting. It's not illegal. Pretty much full bylaw, we kind of suggested a huge edit. Two reasons. One, we want to make sure in an emergency that the town of Thorsby has its own autonomy and calls out to the region for help if we need it. Second of all, we want to make sure there was more extensive definitions in the bylaw. Wanted to make sure that there was more emphasis on the committees and the agencies, and wanted to make sure that there was more cohesion in the language about us all working together. As I explained it, I said we don't want one agency to think they're overarching on and all the municipalities, and Calbar and Warburg were in that meeting as well. So we had a great discussion. We're currently meeting with the pet store down the street from us, strike an MOU for emergency and animal kennels for lost pets that we take in, and we're pleased to keep the service in the community. And Bio Officer Rash and I are finalizing things with them. Collective agreement was reviewed within the municipal negotiating team, and bargaining began on August 30th, which agreement was struck at 5 p.m. on August 30th between the bargaining unit. We sent to the staff team on 8th of September for their vote and ratified it. It comes to council at the regular in-camera for discussion and ratification process, and letting council know any of the changes or any of the wording. Very comprehensive, polite, and collegial day. And we took the union for lunch. Beautiful day. I've had the pleasure of being hosted by Mrs. Phyllis Medusa and her senior team for coffee and conversation a couple of times, and I updated her senior team on happenings in the uni, having coffee, and my donuts with her group. And I've been out of the office quite a bit, meeting with residents at their request, talking to folks. The office has been busy, and I can tell you that when the auditors are in, a couple days when they're in the office, does it ever slow down? What is going on? It's crazy, in a good way, very good. Lots of people going in and out. And that has been my pleasure to serve you for the month of August.
Any questions on the city report and for Donna? All right, thank you. Bylaw officer, Rash.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, for the month of August. August, our focus has been on holding back. July was a very busy, bylaw, so in August, and it's gone so good. In August, focused on properties that, fiscal, and then which, is meeting of the new executives that we have in August, these numbers. And, there was some also meetings. This has been a challenge this year after all the rainfall. We've been working to control it is everywhere from the outside of our boundaries to the inside. In our community, the property owners do need to keep working hard to keep in control and to limit revenue to other properties. We also have been working on properties to remove the trees from other properties, and you will see that there are open information articles in the target, just describing the importance of removing the property. Just a little not to say this, but it's a funny situation. We have relocated 4 of those suitable trees outside of the community. That's work that's been done. Some of those. A little bit of parking, but standards by law.
This addition, Mr. Mayor, both direction, I forgot to put this in a report. Since school started, we've been out at the intersection, at the school in the morning, where here at 8 o'clock. We're there at about 10 to 3, roughly. I'm there most afternoons, I'm there in the mornings when I'm here, and making a big difference out there. The arts can get there when it's 10 and I'm talking to Purple Building this afternoon, and we're noticing a difference as well. About that intersection and so on and so forth. It's kind of interesting. We're getting a lot of good morning, have a good day at school, and it looks like you have a good day at school too, so that's kind of fun. I've been told I'm friends with some people in the community. I don't know who they are. And it's a lot of fun in the morning, and everybody's waving, and so, you know, that's the main thing. I've noticed traffic in the 2 weeks out there has tightened itself up and become more compliant. Which is good. And so it's good. It's a good thing. And the afternoon is busy as well, but we're finding that the congestion is moving properly, and people aren't trying to cut in front of one another, and so on and so forth. And the kids start to expect us there, which is good. They should expect us there. So, a lot of fun.
Go ahead, Des.
As a parent, yeah, that is worth every penny. Part of it, and you should think about getting very sort of, you know. Honestly, I think that the presence there is can't put a place.
We're happy to do it. We look forward to it.
And I would venture to say we probably need to Dude, I gotta stop him.
We have lots of packets. I can't get there. Andrew's there, one of the guys, Mary's there all the time, both times they get. Thank you for those compliments. It's, you don't do it for that, but thank you.
No.
You do it for traffic safety. You have a public traffic safety for it is crucial. We're forming a better relationship with the RCMP. They're starting to talk to us. They're, you know, all those kinds of things. We realize that we're helping them out as well. And it's just interesting for the first few mornings watching people look like, am I allowed? Anyways, I went for my first coffee.
The kids have been opening up as well again.
Yeah.
It's a nice relationship.
There's a lot more of the kids when they come by the public out there. They're all waving, saying hi, and you know, get the odd one and stop by.
Like one come up and say to me, "You're my mommy's friend." I'm like, "Okay." Mommy, she said this to me, and I went, "Okay." It was your daughter. She was so cute.
Good story. Shane was out spraying weeds on our boulevard this weekend, and this little girl, probably about 8 years old, said to something, "What is she doing? Making our town beautiful." And then she goes over to Shane and says, "Thank you for making our town." I smell when he told me that. So anyway.
Recreation manager report,
All right, so for the month of August, think of the dump site, yard week. Had a fair amount of repairs on our truck. They're on them. The guys marked out the culverts, the manholes. We're also working on mapping the road. That way we actually know or anything like that. repairing some bottles. For every bottle we repaired. Trying to stay on top of it. Trying to get it to provide down as possible. We've been prepping for the winter season already, trying to get our gear cleaned up, but we're gonna fly for properly. We did a lagoon release.
So what do you mean by release?
We open a valve, so Environment Canada gives us a about the water quality that's in it, and then we're allowed to open the valve. Close it up and go again for that round. And then I've been working on asset management, trying to get a list of everything that you have. Listing of the machinery that you haven't had. Trying to put a number to everything and it's all. Actual cost analysis on where that. I didn't put on here, but I attended the show and shine as well. Not on behalf of the town, but on behalf of. So, I just wanted to thank everybody that you put part of it. So I had a blast.
Help on that. Is there any questions for Linda there?
Regarding the assets that you said aren't present anymore, wherever they've gone, I.
Yes, as far as I know, there was room for return. We're on a fleet insurance, but on those changes very much.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you. Declaration area. Thank you.
So for August, we wrapped up our summer programs, August 18th. Michaela hosted an end of summer party on the recreation ground. It's pretty awesome. She had foam machines, slide, hot dogs, and lots of things. I estimated 40, but it was more. It was pretty small. It was pretty neat too because we actually had toddlers and teenagers at that event. So all the teams were like engaged in cool clothes and foam machine, and so that was nice to see. Our August summer programs had 57 kids registered. Total registration for the whole summer was 135. The state park is partially assembled by volunteers. The court has not computers, bikes, and active gym membership for the month of August is 42, 39, 19. And the rec department also supports the Lone Wolf Car Show on August 27th. We provided some summer stock and rented the bouncy house. Operation-wise, the new alarm and fog system has been installed and the training for it. So now, Jim Paul, they actually automatically shut off the fire. There's no more systems and missing people, so it's great. Right away. Oh, and no, that's line communication. We only had one. Advertising for the rink and advertise that. So we've actually, the one that was sponsored by a local company, Brown. We've got a couple companies with nice logos, more that do print level boards. So we actually only have 2 open print level boards now. Looks good. Couple more to confirm, but I'm sure it's looking good. The ice plant. So the last couple of weeks has been all the stress. So, the compressors, the 2 compressors that run the ice plant, they haven't had any maintenance in 2020. And prior to 2020, it's been really good in the within maintenance. A lot of this kind of stuff hasn't happened. It's been checked. Which is good what it is. So we scheduled compressor 1 for a top end service, 9 compressors for major inspection. And then ideally you default them every year on top of it. Compressor 1 was fine, but compressor 2 had crankshaft and practice. So we were able to get the crankshaft for machines, rather than purchasing new. And the catch can be machine cost. So it's double the cost of the of so the crankshaft actually would be called last. So they got but because now for building ice for open. We also found our glycol system for cooling was found to be really low. It don't really have an explanation why we didn't but they made some piping changes and we were able to properly do it. And I want that all. A couple of repairs that will have to come in next year. So I just searched that valve and we can only do that ash right now. So we should do this season. Mechanically wise, speaking with like staff and doing past invoices of work one, the facility in the last 100 years has been the basement preventative maintenance program, resulting in mechanical equipment not being properly serviced by licensed technicians. Previous administration had also instructed facility staff to do public works and mechanical repairs rather than contacting the appropriate trade. But the results of this type of management is along with issues that we're addressing some now and we're just discussing them. So the list is going to keep coming. What we're working on right now is the boiler and the improvement wouldn't fire up and we needed it to before plant startup. The hot water from that boiler system would be delivered to cold water taps in Hankin Street. The hot water coming from the boiler is actually scalding hot and not setting up proper temperature. The French Pro dressing room, which is our new bigger one, does not have any hot water actually or pressure. The field house has had an extreme amount of humidity and also has a good So from working on those issues, we discovered with the boilers not firing up, it was the pump had failed. So in November 2021, the pump on boiler system actually failed. We used a local mechanical company for this, and we actually got the pump boiler really useful. The pump that was installed has failed, and it has a flash function that it was actually cast iron pump, not meaning enough water. Took 20 minutes. I tried, but they didn't use it. But in the November, a proper pump temporary fix had been established to provide the hot water, which is what that boiler actually does. I'm not sure the rationale why we use cast iron pumps.
Yeah, if you guys want, I can just give you that answer. It was, the time frame was actually 6 weeks, and that was a temporary solution, and then the CEO got removed and nobody ever.
Ever followed up.
So, yeah, so that is.
I
the-
remember that.
Okay, at the end of the day, the product comp is never worked.
You gotta
If it
go,
was
I
ordered,
remember
it
that,
never
because there was
got
no
to the
heat.
complex, so not heat, hot water. Not what's good for the dog. But, yeah, so at the end of the day, there was temporary fix that was in code, it's never been rectified. So on September 2nd, we provided, or we had a new stainless steel pump installed. Plus did a full service on the boiler, taking it apart, and it's now operational. There were 2 issues with it, but it's, so, this full boiler system and tank storage is only 7 years old, so it's really needs to be serviced twice per year. It's about 13 years of life left in it, and it is really awful. So that's that, it's going. Check valve on the hot water line is failing, and allowing hot water to flow into the cold water pipe. A replacement spring valve was supplied to the town from a local company, but it was not installed. So we had that installed on September 2nd, and that has resolved the issue of the cold water going, or the hot water going into the cold water pipe. Another issue is the makeup air unit in the fuel house, and this is what's causing humidity and reoccurring gas odor. There's evidence that the exhaust is not functioning properly, and there's a problem with the reoccurring backup gas odor. A full service is being scheduled. Cause the problem. This unit is eliminated. Going a lot of where unnecessary wear and tear.
So it's probably in California, it's shut down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's water leaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all the more reasons. Yeah, on that. So Kelly, you're setting up a schedule and you're gonna be maintaining that. Yeah, so we're just working through inspections right now of all the pieces of equipment, so the priorities have been that the tank and boilers that use that directly. That's how we focus. That was the priority, structures, hot water. Wait. Hold on.
So we got the same ice maker and, whatever.
Starting to take part cellular, all.
I don't know. So. I'm thinking that
I hope it looks like you're gonna have lots of hockey players.
yeah, sourcing our buses and numbers, they're working again with Woodward and Summer. The numbers are. Well, they're Monday, Thursday, and Saturday.
You find that the extended hours are helping.
At the complex.
Yeah, like weekends and stuff like that.
Yeah. Zero traffic. Honestly, but Sundays, unless there's a booking, you might get the offer.
Oh, I mean, just like, you gotta, what's the goal?
I think
Give it a chance.
the people that are in on the weekends or after hours. After off.
Yes. How are you?
I, webinar.
For the Christmas elves, already, things like this, just done. Thank you. Any questions? Yes, yeah. Thank you. And then the administration report, we'll just step back. Used to that.
It's, Mr. Mayor, that's the standard of what we do. And, just,
So we did.
So, during August, I launched the new missing agendas program. I'm really proud of it. How we're doing it today. Unfortunately, it doesn't do the district in the back. It's seeing it, but we've been pushing it in the market. We've been pushing it and hoping that
Good. Question. Okay. And, so like the legislature. That's all. All right, thank you. Can I have a motion to accept the CAO report for information? Right. You, all in favor? Carried. CFO report.
I have, so utility balance going out of today is $77,474. Door knockers will go out next week and battery are $1.74. So we're getting that down. We're realizing that we're underwater cut off. And, so that's okay. Property tax arrears is $138,805.
There will be, unless something changes between now and March, we will send letters out in January. Council will tax recovery process. There's some on there that I don't know why. So that should get on that. Send out letters in January and start the recovery process. As for the SBA. I completed audit, not audit, union negotiation. I completed the reporting for the gas tax grant, which hasn't been used since 2019. $400,000 there. That was used, which is good. We have big repairs here. And the MSI operating grant for the 2021 year, so those to the government. I spent time with CEO Donna, like, okay, trying to reconcile MSI capital grant, as no detailed records were kept as to what invoices belong to the project applied for under the grant funding. Plus, there's a project from 2019 still showing in there, so we have to still do some work on finding that one. So we're doing our best to apply correct expenses to the project. So in preparation for the audit, I have had to complete 36 bank reconciliations. That took me all day one day I was here. Do 36 bank recs. Some were completed since June 30th of 2021. And the 2 MasterCard reconciliations as well. I have to still balance the revenue with CP. We have 3 accounts in QuickBooks. One's called sales of product income, one's called uncategorized income, and the other one is called utilities receivable, and those total $650,000. So those are the 3 accounts that they use to fund specific checks finished, instead of categorizing, entering the bill properly, and then applying the payment to the correct account.
So they're just this clearing.
Yeah, it's just like they just would stick the deposits in there, and so now I have to try to balance CP's revenue, QuickBooks revenue, but then I think there's stuff that's entered in QuickBooks that's not entered in CP. Then there's a miscellaneous account, CP with $180,000, and I have to go through and decide where that's supposed to go. Back out here, do all the things. The receivables balance in QuickBooks is sitting at $816,000. It weren't applied properly to it, so I have to reconcile that. There's a large amount of invoices from 2021 that weren't recorded or paid that are still being entered. So as far as an update on the audit goes, it's going well, considering the lack of information. Jeanette and Michael are amazing, and they're very understanding and very cooperative, and they're great to work with. They've been in the office 2.5 days so far to gather samples and information, and they will be back at least 1 more, possibly 2, like days so. They have also had to recreate the capital asset listing as best they can, with more information to come from our previous auditors. But that will wait until after the audit takes time to submit it. So previous administration only provided a PDF version of the summary, not the spreadsheet that would contain all the detailed asset information. And I found one on the server, but it goes back only to 2000. So there's no updated one that I can find. The information from QuickBooks is very hard to export, as it's too large for the software to properly export. And QuickBooks crashes or just runs or doesn't even start at all. So I've tried to export a report that we need schedule, and it comes in QuickBooks with all zeros because it can't read it. Okay. So that causes time delays. The auditors have to keep restarting QuickBooks and exporting portions of data at a time instead of all of it. Or we have to, like that one report, we're going to have to produce manually because we're not going to be able to get it into Excel. So that's just another indication that QuickBooks for an organization as large as a municipality. I would like to commend Jesse and Lisa for their hard work in searching files of accounts and paperwork, attempting to locate information that there doesn't have the technological filing system. They've worked hard to find what is respected them, and if they have, they have done what they can. Just an example, we had about 60 expense samples we needed to pull. It took Jesse a day and a half. It should have taken her an hour and a half if everything was organized and filed properly. Lisa had 13 revenue samples to pull, and it took her a day and a half. Because things were scattered all over in different boxes and not together, and we had to pick stuff off at a key, we had to find the deposit slips, and we need all that information as backup, and we don't have it all, so.
So like, yeah, just a question. So I'm assuming expense samples would be council, the mayor, CAO's expense claims.
Well, no, like any bill we pay.
Oh,
Yeah, so they pick randomly out of the CL, and they highlight them, and then they want to see the invoice, the check, the authorization, and they check off that it's sufficient. I can tell you that probably 75% of them didn't have authorizations on them. They were just, we couldn't find some at all, so some were scanned into QuickBooks. Some you had to call third party to get. Some we couldn't find check stubs, so I just printed off a QuickBooks what showed that they were paid, and then we would have to go find the check in the incorrect. Yeah, so it has been a very, very tedious process. I can tell you the subsequent testing that they do, so they take the first 4 months of this year, and they test, and we can pull that information. That's very nice. It can be 5 minutes full, 4 or 5 deposits out of what they needed. So that information is all thoroughly organized and quick. So this is just taking a lot of time. So the auditors have also indicated that our staff is very helpful and wonderful to work with, so it makes the situation easier. But they have also said this is one of the worst audits they've ever. So I had in here, because I did this before, I talked to her today, but it has been extended 1 month. What we're asking, but they said in their experience, the minister will just say, get it to us as soon as we can. Because they want it to be complete. Just appreciate it. They said it never.
So when we get this one done,
Mhm.
2021,
Mhm.
they'll be probably turning around, flipping around and doing 2022.
Yeah, so they're gonna come back. They'll be here. They're coming back on the 29th. And then probably a couple days the following meeting, and then by the end of October, we'll have this one done, and then they'll probably be back end of November, beginning of December, to do preliminary testing for 2022, which will save us time in March. Because she knows in March time. A little bit maybe for me too. So, yeah, so they're gonna be back, like this, here and here again. So,
Can I ask you the question what I should have asked earlier about the gas tax? So that's kind of a good news, bad news story, or what?
yeah, so no projects have been allocated to the gas tax fund in 2000.
so is that a grant we get?
So we collected the grants, but we didn't use them for it.
Correct. I don't even know if we've got the gas tax money. I don't think they've done that until we have to allocate a project to it. The
Kind
MSI,
of good news.
yeah,
Does that sound right for you? Like,
It's budgeted in long-term planning that it is.
Okay, so but they
Partially
never,
allocated to projects, and whether those projects got done or not, I don't think so yet, because COVID.
okay.
there was no project put into the system for the gas.
But as far as our budgeting for Thorsby Wind, yes, there was projects that it was to go to, that was planned on it going to, things didn't necessarily all go according to plan with COVID.
Okay. So it's actually good news, because I mean, now when we do our budget next year, we can use this money to do projects, like,
Yeah.
I mean.
And then the MSI, I should know, like, how much is left. I would have to figure out.
like our stuff like that, we can put all that stuff in there. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it is good that it's been accumulating, because they're, like I said, big things that need to be fixed next year, so, it's good that we have that money.
Have a list for you and our reasons why, and,
Any questions from people? So, motion to accept this vehicle report. Much. What's morning? Need back there that has any questions or anything you want to bring up? It's a good time to do it.
May I?
Yeah.
Okay, I just had more notes that, and I didn't want to carry on during my report, so I thought I'd add them on the end. I'm sure everybody loves to hear my voice. So I just wanted to point out some important dates for our community, which I'm sure Shauna knows about, but I just found about them last night, so I wanted to point them out. So of course, as Michaela had stated, we have our community awareness next Wednesday in the Field House on September 21st, 6 to 8 p.m. Which is awesome for everyone to go and check out and see what's going on, what user groups there are and stuff like that. We also have, this is exciting news, they're bringing in, since 2019, this is the first one due to COVID, the post-secondary fair is happening this year on November 1st at the high school from 6 to 8:30, so that's really cool for our high school, even junior high school students, to see what's out there, what interests them, get them excited to think about the future. 6 to 8:30. In November 1st, there's no school. So, November 1st? Second Tuesday. Okay, yeah, because there's no school on November 1st, so they'll be setting up everything. And then that night, there is the post-secondary fair, which is awesome. Parent teachers on the 22nd. And then the only other one, they're already starting to plan the grad ceremony for May, but they weren't 100% positive. They thought May 26th, but they're not set on that date. I wanted to ask you guys, you're kind of the planning meeting. So I wanted to find out everyone's thought process on, I know past councils, I'm not sure about the prior council, but I know that councils before that had meet and greets or dinners, planned meetings with 3920 Alliance with our other council members and such. I'm wondering if that's something we could talk about, you could bring up maybe during 3920.
3920 organizes an annual general meeting that all members of the municipality council are
That should be
invited,
coming
and they
up then.
typically
We
involve-
have a workshop on Saturday, 3920, where nothing to do with that.
That's typically right after the organizational meeting,
In
right? Because that's when people get appointed and after elections and whatever. So in November-ish, yes,
We should have
that
something
would
like
be
that.
occurring.
Okay.
That's a 3920 function that they'll.
I can.
And now that we're part of it, we'll become part of it. Oh, and just sort of ding, 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 so they think about it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're on it, good.
yes, thanks, Mr. Your Worship. Leduc County has asked for. a
I was
joint-
gonna ask, what was,
Yep, they've asked for a joint meeting. I believe it's our turn to host in London, so we can sort of pick a date in December and.
these are just huge important things for us to build those relationships back up again, so I just wanted to mention those. I think that's, oh, you know, another thing I wanted to bring up was just, I know there were a couple incidences in the office and on town buildings and such this past week, and I know our staff is not being treated well in some circumstances, and they're being yelled at and they're being sworn at, and I just wanted to make a point, not to anyone in particular in this room, but maybe you could, that kindness and respect goes a long way, and treat people the way you want to be treated. And our staff is important to us and our community, and they need to be treated kindly. Like, that's not okay to come in here and be cursing and yelling and mistreating our staff when they're just doing their job, right? So I wanted to mention that. And then the only other thing I have on my list was I believe that everyone that has an MOU with us has come to us, except for the Lions. Is there any way, has there been any talk on that front to have them come and talk to us and find out what?
Been reached out, got a meeting, reached out. We're gonna have to, step it up now because we're getting ready for budget 2023. We're working, with communities, we will be working with communities pretty soon on both, MOU and a trailer. We'll have all that ready.
Just in that, I just feel like
They're not.
We did have a meeting, they wanted to come back to us with an MOU, and, seeing none,
because this is my own opinion, and I'm just throwing it out there, and you may not agree with me, you may disagree with what I have to say, but I just feel like Historical Society and the Lions, and we support them, and we pay their bills, and they make money, and then we have a group like Communities in Bloom, who they're all volunteers, and they work their butts off, and we give nothing to them, and they're out there doing every single thing, and it's for our community. I just feel like somebody's getting a short end of the stick here. So I'm just curious, like, I just feel like there's not an equal distribution of something going on there. I don't know. But I mean, that's for flowers for the town that they end up having. No, but the point is, you may not agree with what I have to say. That's what I said from the start. But I mean, we take care of a lot of bills for the Historical Society, and they make money off of that. We take care of all the bills for the Lions Campground and such, and they make money off of it. Communities in Bloom makes no money off of anybody, and they have to do fundraising for everything that they do. And we keep pushing more and more, and I just, only because I'm involved somewhat with Communities in Bloom, I know this. But I don't know what other groups there are on that front. I just feel like, and they are a lot of seniors, and they're down on their hands. And like, as you guys,
We actually had a conversation today, John and I.
Yeah, I think like, you know, I mean, they want more money, they put it in the budget.
yeah, but I mean, I think a lot of things just this year wasn't fantastic is all, right?
Yeah, I think it was, well, the learning experience for all of us, and, you know, I think anybody like, you know, like, the library board, the Historical Society, they put their budgets in there and they say yea or nay. And they don't think they should have some more money, that's great, if they put it in there, up to us to decide whether we give it.
And I think when we do the MOU.
Who's responsible?
Yeah.
How much money does the Lions donate back into this community? Thousands of dollars.
I have no idea, because I know like a lot of,
Say unless you know.
well, that's why they haven't come to us to talk to us. That's what I want.
Because they've been trashed so much. We know that.
Who's trashing them? Jonathan was a member of them. He quit for a reason. I don't know. Are you? Oh, you told me.
We donated $10,000 to the Joey Moss Fund, but that didn't come to our community. It's a fine supposed to come to our community.
It's
That's
international.
where all they donated money. There's lots of money that's been donated in this town. And I am now a Lions member. So Jonathan, when do you show up at Lions meetings?
When I have time, I'm not present, be there all the time. I communicate with Nathan about that when my schedule is available to, I will. I have a spouse who works nights, who takes care of my kids. I do. I would not bring them there when it's their bedtime.
All we're asking for Lions is like everybody else.
Communication.
Tell me
Yeah.
that's all.
Like we know nothing.
Budget, we gave them, I believe, $6,000, last year, but we didn't see anything.
We haven't given nothing, but we pay the water bill.
Yeah, we pay for the utilities at the campground,
Correct.
and cut the grass at the campground, and provide for the pump out there. They don't get any money from the town. They get services from the town. They get no money.
Well, they get money from the campground.
Yeah, they.
Right, but
they
when in
get money to
essence,
the town.
yeah,
The town is not providing any monetary,
Well,
value.
paying the bills.
They provide
Yeah.
services. Yeah, they provide services, both in terms of grass and actual utility
Yes,
services.
I mean, we agree.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah.
But they haven't
So I
come.
mean, that's not a zero cost
Yeah.
to the town, but no, the Lions didn't get a check, so to
So
speak.
I think the budget was $6,000.
I think that Parks and Rec sort of number was somewhere, but yeah, that wasn't.
That's all we're looking for, Alex.
Information.
More than willing to-
Get that back.
Yeah, because we were told, I think last November or December, that they were coming to do a presentation and we're still waiting September.
Just like we asked for a budget from everybody else, we should get one from them. That's all we're asking.
Thank you. First thing.
That's all I got.
I'm happy to go.
Anything else?
That's the question, actually. So, do we have like a regular maintenance person that you hire like on contract for like a year or 2 years or 3 years, so that they kind of know what's up on, or is that your responsibility, like for certain contracts in the past?
Yeah,
So, how does that work?
Here's that, there was. Program, so we were going to tender. Bid on it, for mechanical,
Yeah,
and, then they said,
yeah.
and. when it-
Yeah, okay.
But I don't, that hasn't happened.
That's it? Yep. Andrew?
I just wanted to say this on behalf of the firefighter now. I lost another friend. That's, not the third friend that I lost on the time.
Sure. All right. Okay, well, if there's no more further questions, then I'd like to get somebody to motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? That's carried. Thank you all for attending and thank you for the reports and feedback and everything.
Here every time. My thing. We don't really even need it if it's on the screen. I guess with more detail.